Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics / Non-Classics. This is episode number 648 and Doubleshot number 542. Two female superheroes in this particular view. First up it is Batgirl, Stephanie Brown, Volume 2, collecting Batgirl Volume 3, issues 13 and 24, Bruce Wayne, The Road Home number 1, and a story from Batman Incorporated Leviathan Strikes number 1. All the issues, I think, except for the Batgirl Road Home issue, I think is done by Brian Q. Miller, who also did the Smallville Season 11 stuff. There's also some writing here by Grant Morrison, artwork by Perry Perez, Dustin Nugent, Derek Phillips, Roman Beaches, Cameron Stewart, Lee Gabbert, and Trevor Scott. Also, gotta love the tribute to Amazing Fantasy 15 here. Yeah, they even do this in the book. When it comes to this particular trade, this is the second and last volume to collect Stephanie Brown's run as Batgirl. I just kind of wish they would continue collecting the run for Cassandra Cain's run as Batgirl, because apparently they stopped after 3 trades. I have not seen anything announced yet if they're going to continue collecting that series, but at least Stephanie Brown's one got a new printing of trades, which is nice. I just kind of wish they would do the same thing with Batgirl. Yeah, they do it for Stephanie Brown, and Barbara Gordon's run as Batgirl is pretty much when most people collect and trade, but as for Cassandra Cain, oh, God forbid we do that. But it's nice to see Stephanie Brown got a chance to get her own, series. The one story, now the first couple issues here are 2 standalone stories. 13 is a story where she takes on Clayface. 14 is a team between her and Supergirl, and I think the second or third time that these two have actually fished, it was a really fun little issue. The rest of the storyline is just the lesson. Yeah, a storyline that takes to the last 10 issues of this entire run. It even gets briefly interrupted by the Bruce Wayne Return Home Batgirl one-shot, which she meets up with Bruce Wayne, and she slaps him. And she doesn't get repercussions for it all for slapping Bruce Wayne in the face. Yep. Leviathan Strikes issue was actually, at that point, when this one-shot was released, it was her last official print appearance for about 2 years. Until she came back in Batman Volume 2, issue 28. That's where she officially returned when it comes to her return in the comic books, which became spoiler again. Excuse me. And just recently, in the last arc that James Tynion did for Detective Comics, yeah, it was revealed that, showing off that, yes, they did show off the Stephanie Brown in the Batgirl costume. Yeah, this costume was shown again, which was really nice. And one thing I did appreciate about this particular run is that you have the character Wendy from the Wonder Twins being a supporting character in this. She goes by the name Proxy, and she technically acts like Oracle, and she acts like behind the scenes. There's also references to what happens in Birds of Prey when Oracle was supposed to kill it off, that they kind of restarted her up. Yeah. I gotta admit, this was actually really damn good. And it's great that for people who are fans of Stephanie Brown, that her run as Batgirl is in trade. But I just kind of wish DC would continue collecting the stuff for Cassandra Cain, which they got about, I think, like less than 40 issues left to go for the first volume of Batgirl. I just kind of wish they were finished collecting it. I mean, they pretty much just recently, as far as the next trade that comes out for Nightwing, the collect issues from the second volume, that concludes Chuck Dixon's run. Robin, they're still working on that one, and Birds of Prey. But yet, not Batgirl, which is weird. Alright, I give that one 9.5 out of 10. Next up, it is Wonder Woman, Volume 5, Heart of an Amazon. Excuse me, collecting Wonder Woman, Volume 5, issues 26 to 30. Wonder Woman Steve Trevor, number 1, and stories from Wonder Woman and number 1. Now, the Heart of the Amazon story, that's actually done by one writer for these 5 issues. This is done by Shea Fatania. And the other writers in here are Tim Seeley, who does actually the Steve Trevor one-shot, with Vita Alaya, Michael Morchi, Colleen Kelly, Yeah, first trade recruit with him. And Jackson Lansing. The artwork in here is done by Makia Alfaro, Dave Messina, and Kaya Madoria. I think Madoria, Medina, or Randa. I think it's the person's name. Kristen Deuce, Claire Rowe, Stephen Hans, and David LaFon. The cover is done by Jenny Ferguson. Yeah, the heart of the Amazon story is just Wonder Woman investigating a bomber who showed up at Eda Candy's brother's wedding, and there's a lot of really Wonder Woman stuff. There's one story in here which is kind of dumb. I think it's a story that Colin Kelly does. Yeah, let me look it up in here. It's the annual stuff. It's the other annual stuff not done by Greg Rucka, which is nice. Yep. There is a story in here that involves... Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, I think this is the one right here. This is Markovia. Yep. A story set Markovia. No, this is done by Fatia Alaya. Yeah. It's a story where apparently King Shark is being publicly executed for something. Yeah, they don't specify what it is. And despite the fact that, well, there's not enough evidence of it, there's this really stupid general who refused to listen to reason. And then all of a sudden, Wonder Woman shows up, stops the bullets, and then later on, this general was arrested for treason. Yeah. After she tried to... And it turns out that the whole thing was actually fake, and... Yeah. Let's see if I can find the Colin Kelly story. Let's see. Because Colin Kelly... Yeah, this guy writes weird stories. Because what have I seen this guy in, aside from appearing in one story in here? Well, he did do a couple issues of Green Arrow, and he did one issue of Nightwing. And that was it. I'm not kidding. That's really all the guy did. Okay, Colin Kelly. Yeah, he does write interesting stories. This is when he has Wonder Woman taking on a kaiju monster. Yep, really nice. Really interesting story. When this writer was announced to do this, is just this one arc before James Robinson took over, which he is the current writer. He's been writing books issue 31. Everybody knew that this is really just going to be just a one-and-done storyline. It's not going to really affect anything. This implied the return of Dr. Poison, which was something. And it kind of felt as though the storyline didn't go much of any place. It's a pretty good storyline. I do appreciate the fact it featured Eda Candy, which she doesn't get much to do anyways. But yeah. And apparently there was just people who were controlling the Steve Trevor's commanding officer, who apparently were now Eda Candy. I get for not allowing to go in the field, but Steve Trevor. Yeah, they never specify the reason why he's not allowed to go on a mission, but Wonder Woman, who is not under their official command, apparently is allowed to do whatever the heck she wants because, well, she's a symbol of truth. The spirit of truth. Good storyline, and the annual stuff was really nice. They threw this in here. The Steve Trevor story, which is just something for him to do. Why not? Excuse me, that's a story by Tim Seeley. Yep. And Tim Seeley is not known for doing spy stuff. Yeah, the spy stuff is all Tom King. He's known for doing spy stuff. It's interesting, though, Tim Seeley is the one who actually writes the Steve Trevor story. Yeah, and this is one of the very few times he actually doesn't do a Batman title. Because the guy's been stuck in the... Like, when it comes to his DC work, he's been stuck doing Batman work for the past, 5 years. Like, you have his one shot he does in here. You have the 2 issues he did for Justice League. I think that's it. That's all I can think of. I'm going to give this book roughly a 9.5, a 9 out of 10. It's really good. Alright, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is all about Superman. Yep. And that'll be episode number 649, Doubleshot number 553. Okay? But do see you next episode. Bye.